New Year means New Year's resolutions, and one of mine is to get Leeds into the Premier League because we failed at the last hurdle, if you remember, from the last episode. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Life at Leeds with me, GWFM. We're on episode 16, it's a brand new season, we've got a load of transfers to go through, and we are, of course, still in the Championship, unfortunately, thanks to our unfortunate loss in the playoff final against Ipswich. As a result, we are going to be playing against Millwall, MK Dons and Bolton, starting with Bolton in the entire league, to be fair. So we're going to go through some of his players now that we've signed, and we'll let you know how we've got on. First of all, I just want to go through who's gone out. I mean, there's been a lot of players go out, mainly on free or on loan, but we did lose Marcus Antonsen. You might remember at the end of episode 14, we had Antonsen kicking off, saying that, you know, I've broken promises about talking to him about a contract at the end of the season. And I'm not going to go too much into detail, but it wasn't the end of the season in my opinion because we still had the playoff final to play. And I was waiting for us to see what division we were in before I offered him a contract to see how much I was offering him. If we got into Premier League, he probably wouldn't have even stayed anywhere. I'd probably still sold him. But as it was, we stayed in the Championship. It was kicking off, and at the risk of disrupting the harmony of the squad, I decided to let him go. It didn't go for as much as I wanted him to go for. He went for 3.6 million in the end. It was valued at about 7 million at the time. But it's a decent amount of money. It's a bit of money that we got back because we have made quite a few transfers, and you'll see shortly who we've got in. First one that we got in was Kyle Bartley. Now, I will let you know now that Pontus Jansson, unfortunately, he didn't want to join us. We had offers accepted for about 2 million, 2.5 million. We could afford that, and he declined to join us. He didn't want to know. So unfortunately, we've lost out on Pontus Jansson, which is why probably when you were wondering on the thumbnail where the hell is he, he didn't want to join. So I've had to sack him off from the thumbnail. Unfortunately, I was absolutely devastated. But back to the player in question, we've got Kyle Bartley here. He's joined us permanently. He's cost us £1.5 million. I think that's money well spent for a defender of his quality. 3.5-star player, and we all know about him anyway. He's decent in the air, he's strong, and is an animal basically. Next, this is one for the future. We've got Ash Kigbu. He got released from Manchester City. We sent him on a free. He's gone to Rochdale and got a pulled hamstring already, so it's a bright start from him. But as you can see, he's decent. He's 18-year-old, and look at those physicals. They're not bad. He's a left-footed centre-back as well, so I do like to try and get a balance of left and right footers in central defence and indeed in central midfield. But looking at it, you know, he doesn't look bad, and hopefully he can improve. He's got 4-star, maybe 5-star potential ability, and hopefully we might see him again in the future. Then we've got Sam Gallagher for 775 grand, which I thought was an absolute snip. He's a target man like Chris Wood and like Thielen. Obviously Thielen broke his leg, so we're never going to get him again. But this guy's got bucket loads of potential. Easily going to be a Premier League player in the future, and he's going to get plenty of game time under us as well. You know, and he just fits the system perfectly. He's 1m94, which is absolutely huge. He's a determined individual, so he's going to show a lot of improvement. He's not the fittest, like natural fitness is only 7, but that can only improve. But his jumping reach is 16, his heading's 15, and his finishing isn't bad at 12 as well as his composure. That's not too bad neither. But a lot to work with, and he's going to need a lot of work. But I think he could easily make it in the Premier League, and hopefully it's with us. Then a big decision I had to make, and it's Daniel Bentley. I signed him, and it was for quite a bit of money, £4 million, outright as well, to Brentford. And it's just a fact that I had a look afterwards. I had a look at like the comparison to all the teams. What you know, the team report. You go into the comparisons, and one of the weakest areas, in fact, was the goalkeeper. I think we were like in 18th out of 24 teams for goalkeeper. So that's made me think maybe that's why we've been lacking. I know Silvestri got in the team of the year substitutes, but even so, it said to me that we needed another goalkeeper, and Daniel Bentley, we did get linked with him in real life a couple of years ago, and he definitely fits the bill. You know, 14s and 13s across the board pretty much, with a couple of 15s as well for aerial reach. Jumping reach is 16. I think it's just gone up actually. But yeah, I'm looking for him to be that little bit of a difference maker in goal, because it's definitely somewhere I think we lacked. Next one was a youngster. He was released from Manchester United, Scumsville. And he had 3-star, maybe 4-star potential ability, but another reason why I signed him, again, he's on a freebie, we were released and he didn't cost us anything, but it's the fact he's bow-footed. I did like that, and he's got some decent starting stats, a lot of 10s, 11s and 12s across the board, and I think he could be very useful, particularly the fact that he seems to be very versatile. I mean, you look at that chart there, can play anywhere on the left, in the middle, and competently on the right, attacking mid or up front. Next player we got in was on loan from Arsenal, not costing us anything at all in wages. He's just like basically 4th choice centre back for us this season. He can play defensive midfield should we revert to such a system, but again, very decent. A lot of 12s, 13s, that sort of standards across the board, a couple of 14s and 15s in terms of strength. But yeah, he's just going to be back up. He's going to be a decent player for us if he's called upon, let's just say that. Another youngster was next, Luka Kambic. Again, it was another one who was free. I thought I'll sign him. He can play in a couple of positions. Might be able to progress. Worst case scenario, we're selling him on for a bit of a fee. But we got him from Kirka Novo Mesto. But he's gone out on loan to NK Tolmin, so we'll evaluate him when he comes back. The next player is another big player that we've signed. He hasn't cost that much, but he's valued at 3.3 million. We actually only paid 700 grand, potentially rising up to 850 grand. Basically, it's just a case of I needed someone who could fill in for Liam Bridcut, which should free up Calvin Phillips to play in his more preferred role, central midfielder. So now we've got plenty of depth in midfield, like that. We're not going to be considerably weaker in that ball-winning midfielder role, because I think that's one of the most key positions as well. Obviously, Bridcut got injured a fair bit last season, so it's nice to have Alphonso Tyra here, who is hopefully going to fill that void. And the next one is probably the best player that I think we've signed this transfer window, our most crucial. Obviously, we had to replace Pontus Jansson. It was not going to be an easy task, but we found this guy, Kenneth Amarua. I might call him Big Ken or something like that. But yeah, an absolute beast. He's not the tallest. He's 1m85, but that's big enough for me. I think 1m81. I think he's 6 foot. But you know, all across the board, his mentals are very strong, his physicals are very strong, and even his technicals are very strong. You know, you don't really see a clear weakness. Decisions maybe could be seen as a weakness, with it only being 10, but his anticipation's decent at 13. He's not too aggressive, but aggressive enough. Bravery is 16, so he's not going to be shying out of many challenges. All around, I just think he's a solid purchase, and he's cost us £3.2 million from Chelsea, having not played a single game for Chelsea, but mainly played out on loan here, there, and everywhere, it seems. Another big player we brought in, mainly due to the fact that we sold Antonsen, and he's pretty much cost the same, is Zach Clough. We signed him from Bolton for £3.5 million, and he's all about potential. But if you look at his starting stats, I mean, he's 22-year-old, he's got about another 2.5 years to grow, but he's mentally like really strong. You know, physically very able, apart from the fact he's not the tallest, so he can't jump. He's only 1m70, so that's similar height to me, so I know how he feels. Obviously heading's going to be a weakness because of that, but everything else is really good, and I thought he'd fit the role of deep line forward, but then that made me think about changing the tactic. We'll get into that a little bit. We hadn't changed it completely, just one or two of the roles, but you know, he plays perfectly as a false 9, so that's something I've added to the tactic, basically. We'll get into it in a minute. But yeah, cost us £3.5 million. Hoping for big things from him. He didn't get many goals for Bolton last season. I think he got 9, I think, in about 30 appearances, something like that. But that's playing for another manager. He's playing for the man, the myth, the legend that is GW. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. It could be a flop. I'm hoping not, because it would be an expensive one if it is to be that. And then finally, we signed some guy called King Udo, who sounds awesome. Whether he turns out to be awesome remains to be seen. He hasn't cost us anything. It was a free transfer after getting released by Juventus. And the one thing I liked about him, it just says a natural striker, mainly as a target man, but he's more of a winger. Now, we don't play wingers that high up, but I'm going to try and train him up to be just a target man, because he's only young, he's 19-year-old, he's Nigerian, but you know, look at his stats. He's quick, he's decisive, he's off the ball, is amazing. You know, heading 15. Jump reach needs to be worked on. He's 1m85 though, so he's not the smallest. He's agile in the air as well. So I'm hoping he's going to progress a lot. He's going to need a lot of work, but he's potentially maybe a 4-star player. So we'll have to wait and see with him. It's another one for the future. So that was it for the transfers. To break down, as you can see there, we spent £13.75 million in total. A lot of that is what I've been doing is paying like about a quarter up front. That's what I tried to do, a quarter up front, and then the rest over so many months. So 24 months, I think it's over 2 years. So I'm hoping, like obviously by the time if we get to the Premier League, then we'll be able to pay off that debt sort of thing. But looking at the outs, we've got a lot. We've got a few people out on loan who you might recognise. We've got Anthony Green, who is... I'm not going to go into the players individually, but we've got Anthony Green, who's out on loan. He was the regen that we got last season that looks shit hot. Lee Owen's out on loan again. Basically, he'll probably get released at the end of the season. Will Huffer, that goalkeeper, he's on loan this time, so he's hopefully going to get some game time. Lewis Dunn's going out on loan to Walsall in League 1, so he's going to hopefully progress some more. A lot of players got released on a free. The only one really you might have considered to have some sort of potential, that was probably Alex Perver, but only 2.5-star maximum potential. That's with the Black Stars as well. So I don't think any of them was going to make it, unfortunately. Jordan Pasaka, we've completely forgot about him with his contract and end up accepting a contract with Fortuna Dusseldorf. Louis Coyle's going on loan to Millwall in the Championship, so hopefully he's going to get some progression as well. There's an option to recall him. Bailey Peacock-Farrell's joined Charlton Athletic in League 1, so he's going to get some game time. Luke Murphy could have sell him, could have He's gone on loan to Preston North End again, but this time only 70% of his wages. Jesper Carlson, he's gone out on loan to Dundee United. They're in the Scottish Premier League, so I thought that would be a decent level for him to be playing at to get some more progression. So that's where he's gone. Frank Mulhern signed a new contract and he's gone out on loan to Bristol Rovers in League 1. He's actually got a lot of potential and I'm hoping he's going to fulfil some of that. Matthew Knox, the guy we signed last season, he's gone to Blackpool on loan in League 2. Already showing some improvement. And Paul McKay's gone to Notts County and Luka Kambic has gone to NK Tolmin, as I mentioned before. So a lot has happened regarding loanies, and we may see these back either next season or who knows if they're doing well, maybe later on this season. One last thing to do with transfers. Now, I need your opinion on this. As Charlie Taylor is still at the club, he's not signing a contract, he will not sign a contract. I'm reluctant to release him because he's only on £2,500 a week, which I didn't think was that bad. But teams wanted him, like there's Toronto and Norwich City after him. But it's this tribunal, so I'm thinking if I just release him, I'm going to miss out on a fee. But do I keep him and do I play him? Because if he's not got a contract, does that mean he's not going to be training every day and he's not going to be fulfilling any promise? And is there much point? Should I just let him go? That's one thing I need to ask you. And leave your comments below, just to let us know what you think I should do. I'll try and tally up a vote at the end. I don't know whether to hold out for a tribunal. I don't know, how much it's going to be. Is it going to be worth it? Has anyone actually been in the same situation where he has gone for a tribunal that's brought you £2 million in or something? Let us know below, please. So I'm just quickly going into what's been happening in the friendlies, and as you can see, it's pretty happy reading all across the board, apart from against Manchester City. That was one about, I always try to get a big team just to get some money in. But yeah, a couple of decent results, albeit against nobody teams really, including Stockport County. Sorry, Bood. No, they actually played quite well. They Stockport defended quite well. I think they were late goals. But Halifax Town would beat 8-1. US Cartel Lusitanos, I want to say, is that the name in that Friendly Cup semi-finals. 2-1, we won that game. That was a lot tighter than what it should have been. Willem 2 in the final. We beat 5-0. Blackburn Rovers, a team that's got relegated last season, so I thought that would be a good test. We only won 1-0, which is kind of concerning. Then we played Tors FC 6-0. And Ossett Town, that's the local side to me, we beat them 10-0, which is the first time I've had a double figures results, even though it's only a friendly, in about 8 years of Football Manager. I hit 9 quite a few times, but 10 less so. Then finally we played Mainz, Jurgen Klopp's first team that he was managing, I believe. We beat them 5-2, so that was quite pleasing as well. So that is it for today's video, guys. It's just a transfer special today. We'll probably have the first live common season against Bolton Wanderers in the next episode. But yeah, it's just good. I think it was going to go on too long. I've had history with transfer specials and the first game of the season, it going on to like 30 plus minutes, and it's never a good thing. So yeah, it's short and sweet today. And then hopefully you join us for the next one. in the next couple of days or so. Hope you've had a great 2016 despite all the celebrities dying and that like inopportune times. But hopefully your 2016 hasn't been too bad. But here's 2017. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you're new, please subscribe. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye bye.